Hello and welcome to our March 5 and 5, where I'll be sharing 5 things that you should know about Grace Point in 5 minutes or less. First, we are looking forward to an awesome resurrection celebration on March 31st. This is a great opportunity to pray about who God might have you invite that morning. That's why I'm standing here in the Welcome Center to let you know that we will be ready to greet all the guests that God brings through our doors. We will have, as every Sunday, music by our gifted worship team, elder-led prayer, and we'll have baptisms in both services. I'm very excited about that. We've never done that before on Easter. And yes, we will have a message that includes an encouraging passage from Hosea, there are a few, and a passage celebrating the resurrection. If you normally attend second service and have the option to move to first, that would be awesome because that would free up seats for the service that we anticipate being more full. Secondly, I want to take the opportunity this month to share some facts about our Grace Point elders that you may not know. We currently have 9 elders who are elected by our members to lead and to shepherd the church. They lead from the 30,000 foot level, if you will. But they are also involved in a variety of ministries, aside from leading prayer time almost every week and communion once per month. Behind the scenes, the elders meet once each month, reviewing our finances, making sure our staff is healthy, and promoting just the general well-being of Grace Point. So for number 3, I want to go a step further and share some concentrated work that our elders do. Twice each year, our elders gather for an extended time at a retreat. We just had one in mid-March. And at that retreat, we talked about 3 main topics. First, we talked about ideas about intentional leadership development in our church. Secondly, we talked about a proactive initiative to support our small groups in choosing and using solidly biblical material. And then we spent some really good time praying about our church finances and developing a plan to call our church family to join together to meet the deficit that we have right now. I'll talk more about that plan in coming weeks, not on Easter. And I want to share more about the deficit now. So number 4 is our financial and attendance updates for February. First, our attendance. Our average monthly attendance for February is 480, and our highest week was 495 on February 11th, so that's exciting to see. And then here is what is happening with our deficit. You can see the numbers there, and I will just tell you that part of the reason that our expenses continue to increase over this year is just that there are issues with our building being 20 years old and things that are just breaking, and we need to keep the building up. So that's happening. Then you can see our year-to-date numbers. And the bottom line is our expenses exceed income right now by $82,000. So I do want to thank those of you who have stepped up your giving in February. We had the second highest giving of the year so far in February, which is kind of unusual for us. So we know that some of you are making extra gifts. And again, we'll talk more about this in the coming weeks. Lastly, just want to remind you that my sabbatical begins May 1st and runs through July 31st. If you're wondering how the Pastoral Care will happen during that time, the answer is it will happen just as it has been for years. We have an established pastor on call rotation. Each of our pastors take a week at a time as POC. And so during my time away, our elders are also going to rotate into that, and we appreciate their support helping out the 3 pastors that we'll have. So if you have a pastoral emergency now and or when I'm on sabbatical, you can call the church number after hours. You can call the church number during hours. But when you call after hours, you can follow the prompts and reach the pastor on call. If it's not an emergency, you can email this address, pastors@gracepointpa.org. I'll talk more about my sabbatical next month, but we're out of time for March. We'll look forward to seeing you Resurrection Sunday.